Alrighty guys, hey there. Today I want to do a very quick going on little casual chit chat video discussing Netflix shows and episodes that are happening, winter stuff coming out, blah 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 blah. Excuse the dishwashing in the back. I gotta get stuff clean, right guys? I gotta live. But I wanted to talk about this one show just really quick, like my thoughts on it after I just finished watching it. Today is 3/14, March 14th, 2020, and I finished watching the show yesterday on the 13th, Friday the 13th, and the show is called The Umbrella Academy. Now, the thing when it comes to a lot of shows in general, a lot of movies in general, I'm a very hard critic. I have a lot to say about this show as well. But altogether, I really like the show. I was very unexpectedly happy about it. I was very impressed with it, the story of it, which the show was actually from a comic that, if I'm getting it correctly, was a comic written by Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, the band My Chemical Romance. The singer from that band, he made this comic. The comic was made into this Netflix series. They only have season 1. I'm pretty sure that this show was released in the beginning of 2019, so it's been about a year now since the show was released. It was picked up for a second season, which I'm super excited about. I am very happy to know that. I think the season ended very well. Oh my gosh, so one of my complaints, which is actually a benefit to the show itself, is that, oh my god, I hated the way that a lot of the episodes ended. Just that it was very much a cliffhanger. Like, I need to know what happens. I have to keep binge watching the show. I couldn't just watch one episode a day because I gotta go to sleep and go to work and do homework, and I shouldn't be binge watching anything on Netflix. But yet here I am, and the show was so good. So that was I had to watch multiple episodes in a row, and either I had to tell myself, okay, Ileana, you cannot watch another episode, or there was a few episodes where it's just like, okay, that was a good ending for me. I can turn it off, go to sleep, get to sleep, Ileana. But, oh my gosh, so I'm very excited for the second season because I am hoping to see some character development. I feel like these characters were very set up in a very, they have a long way to go to show some character growth, so I'm very excited about that. It gives them room to grow in the series, because a lot of problems that a lot of TV shows have is just like, can it be carried on into a new, oh my gosh, a new season. Now I did finish watching season 2 of Stranger Things as well. I loved the first season of Stranger Things. I binge watched it when it came out. I literally watched the full season of Stranger Things all in one day, from early morning to late at night, because I was behind on the craze about that show. But I love that show. It was good. I liked season 2. It was good. I haven't had Netflix in a very long time, and that's why I'm binge watching all of these shows. So season 2 of Stranger Things was very good. I liked it. And I'm saying all of this for example. I tried to watch Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, which I kind of want to make a separate video about that as well. Pretty much I didn't even finish season 1 because I'm done with it. Like, it's not something that I need to binge watch, you know. I'd watch one episode and I'm just like, okay, did I really need to see that? Another show is The Witcher, is another thing, which I want to continue with The Witcher. But the thing is, so we're watching all these shows, we're trying out all these shows, and the one that caught our attention was and kept our attention was The Umbrella Academy. And So that's why I'm just very thrilled about that one. It was something that kept our attention, that we had to keep watching. And my husband said, hey, let's watch the show. Some of his friends told him that he wanted to watch it. And for me, I was like, the Umbrella Academy. And I looked at what, like, you know, the pictures of it and whatever. And I'm just like, And Netflix kept recommending it to me as well. So anytime I looked into the Netflix, like, it would immediately start playing, like, the advertisement for it. And I'm just like, It wasn't something that I was drawn to at first. My husband wanted to watch it, and I'm really glad we watched it. So, some of my complaints when it comes to the characters is just that I found them rather annoying. Not all of them, but they're just very disruptive towards each other. I mean, obviously, the things that they've been through, their father didn't really know how to be a father. He did, like, messed up things to them. Spoiler alert, I'm going to put spoiler alerts because I want to be able to talk about things that happen in the show. If you have not seen the show, although I recommend you need to go see it, the father, he wasn't very good at being a dad. He was just, like, training them to be, like, mass weapons. They needed to be heroes and save the universe. So he did, like, really messed up things, like locking them away in, like, rooms where they were left alone by themselves. Little kids, that's not good for little children's mindsets. So, of course, they grew up. They didn't know how to live outside of their home. They didn't have friends. They didn't interact with anybody outside of their home. Allison shows lots of qualities of emotional abuse towards other people. And see, this is the thing of what I don't like about their characteristics, which made it very hard for me to watch on parts of it, is that they were very abusive to other people because of what happened to them. You know, that sort of thing when it comes to anybody in actual life is very annoying. When people are very much like, oh, this happened to me, so this is the way that I am, and they're very abusive and disruptive towards other people. So that's pretty much the way the majority of them were. Not all of them, like my favorite character, which I'll get into that, but so pretty much, Allison was just like, Vanya, I love you. I'm your sister. I want to be your sister. I know that I was bad in the past, but I want to be your sister. And then she'll turn around and be like, that's what you get for writing that book. Like, Allison's, like, an emotional, abusive person, which, you know, I can understand why Vanya wanted to destroy the world after that. Although, do I agree with Vanya? No, I don't, because Vanya is emotionally unstable as well, which is her very problem that her dad had with her from the very beginning. Is it right what he did to her? No, it's not. But obviously he was scared that she was emotionally unstable and she was going to use her powers to kill everybody. And so he decided to instead lock her away and nearly erase her memory. And he tried to continuously put into her head that you are nothing, you are ordinary, everyone else is better than you. And let me... although you don't even have friends outside of the house, you're not even going to have friends inside the house with your siblings. You're not as good as them. You ain't taking pictures with us. You ain't cool, pretty much. So, sorry, Vanya. A lot of messed up things with her. Although, again, you know, doesn't mean that you should go explode the world. Although, I can understand why. Especially when you have Allison, who is just like, I love you. You deserve that. Like, yeah. She hopefully sees some character development for Allison, that she learns that you shouldn't do that. And then, what is it? Like her daughter, like she was like using her, you know, her powers to get everything that she wanted from her daughter and from her husband. So that was just like, ooh, you know, someone should have told you that that's not okay to use on loved ones, on people that you want to respect you and actually care for you, without you controlling them. So she needs to learn that one. Diego, I want to say Diego is probably the most annoying character. He was just very silly. He was just very silly and was just like carrying around knives. And of course they make jokes about that too. They're just like, you're sterile carrying around that outfit. Like, I don't know. He was just a very silly character. Don't have much else to say about him. Luther, I feel bad for him. Obviously, he's the one who stayed in the house the longest. He did not grow into an adult. He did not experience a lot of adult things because he also got shipped off to the moon and lived on the moon for like 5 years or something like that. So he has a lot of development that needs to go on because he's pretty much like a child still. Oh my gosh, who's the, I can't remember his name. Pretty much the one who actually grew up, and, he could, oh my gosh, why can't I remember his name? He went back in time to try and save everybody, and then he accidentally reverted back into his childhood body. I have to say, you know, good job for that kid being a good actor. The actors are good. I like the actors. It's just, I'm just saying, like, the characteristics of them. That's just, this is just my mind. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I'm just saying my points and my opinions on these characters. So he was kind of annoying because, I mean, he obviously had to grow up completely by himself because he turned into an old man. I forgot, he mentions how old he was, that he was like 58 or something like that, but he, at the end of his time alone, if you've watched the show, you actually understand what I'm talking about. At the end of him living alone in the exploded world, was he like in his 50s? I think, when he went back in time, he was 58 or something like that is what he said. I want to say he had to have been about 50 by the time that they picked him up after he had been living by himself for so long. So again, that's his development. He had to grow up literally by himself, no one else on the planet, and he was still very selfish. Everything is his responsibility. He's smarter than everybody. Apparently, that's kind of what his father put on him as well as a child, when, you know, before he, like, ran off, and he wanted to do a lot, even though his father warned him that you shouldn't time travel because you can, like, get yourself into trouble. That's basically what happened to him, but it benefited them because he found out the world was going to explode, so he wanted to save the world. They're trying to save the world from exploding. Who else is there? Ben. I want to know what happened to Ben. Like, are they going to discuss what killed him? Because they're saying that after Vanya put out that book that something really horrible happened to Ben, and he's dead. So I really enjoy how they still have Ben in the story because of Klaus, if I am saying his name correctly, which I feel bad if I'm botching up his name because he is my favorite character. I love a good laugh. I love the comedic relief. I love his character so much. I love the actor. He was really great. I really like him. So Klaus is my favorite character. Ben is in the story because Klaus is talking to him. Klaus can see dead people. And of course, his siblings are doo-doo heads, and they're just like, what good is your power? All you do is talk to the dead. You know, like, what's the benefit of that? So, you know, they make comments about that, and Klaus is just like, I really just want to help. Of course, he is a drug addict. And he, throughout the years, he never really wanted to fix his problem. He became a drug addict because he wanted to, not have communications with the dead because it freaked him out, because he was also one of the children who was locked in a room with a bunch of dead people who were screaming at him. He didn't understand how to properly control it. All this crazy stuff. So, my thing with Klaus is that he really cares for people. You can really tell that in the show. He doesn't want bad things to happen to his siblings, and he's very destructive to himself. So that's kind of my thing when it comes to Klaus, that, you know, even though bad things that have happened to him, he doesn't take it out on other people, although he still has abusive qualities towards himself. I want to see character development for him because towards the end of it, he realizes that, well, he kind of knew this already, but he needed to develop his powers. when there was moments where he was sober, that his drugs were weaning out of his system, and of course he was having to face the undead that were trying to talk to him, and it benefited him. He started to learn that it would benefit him and that it was good for him and that he needs to take control of his powers. Maybe that's something that's more better for him since he is an adult and not a child having to deal with that pressure, but he was the comedic relief. There was a lot of funny things. There was like a bunch of like shooting and fighting going on, and he would say something really crazy. I'd have to give examples like just from, you know, if you're watching the show, watch the show and you will immediately know what I am talking about. Yeah, he was my absolute favorite character. I'm excited to see what he can do in the next season. I hope they are actually making the season, and I hope it comes out soon because, like I said, it's been a year since the show was released on Netflix. I know they have to film all the episodes and then they release all the episodes on Netflix. I think this took me, I don't know, a couple of weeks to finish the season because I watched at least once a day and I watched multiple in some days, so maybe just a week because I think there's only 10 episodes. Of course, they're like over 40 minutes long. But who else is there? Am I missing anyone? There's Ben, Klaus, little boy kid. I don't know why I cannot think of his name. Luther, Allison, Vanya. Oh my god. Who the heck am I missing? Klaus. Oh, and Diego. Of course, I didn't say them all in order because they all have numbers. They even explain how their father didn't even give them names. He gave them numbers, 1 through 7, and his nanny that he created for them that they actually came to know as their mother, who was a robot, she is the one who gave them their names. So, I don't remember. There's number 5, who's the kid. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Diego was number 4. Luther was number 1. And then I don't know who Ben, Allison, and Klaus were actually. And then again, spoiler alert, Vanya is number 7, although she never thought that she even had a number because she didn't remember any of that. But yes, she is number 7. But yeah, I just had to get these thoughts out. Like, I really liked the show. I was very happy with it. What are your thoughts? Have you watched it? I think you should go watch it. Will you go watch it? All these questions, guys. Yes, I loved it. I have not been interested in a show like this in a long time. Like I said, like even like watching multiple shows at once on Netflix and like not being invested in them and not wanting to continue them and being like, I can watch that whenever. I'm just like, what should I watch? Oh, maybe I'll continue watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I should make a separate video on that one because I actually have a lot to say about that one, about how I originally liked it and then I can't even finish the rest of it. So I should make a separate video for that one, but I wanted to make a video because I just finished watching this one and I really like it. Very happy about it. I hope the second season is just as good. I love the actors. They're very great. Not complaining about the actors. Oh, I do have to say that Allison had some really cheesy moments that made no sense to me. Like how, like that police officer, she was just like, and she wasn't using her powers because she's kind of scared to use her powers. Kind of, not really, but you know, she's just like, okay, you know, I know that if I use my powers, it's not good. I'm not really supposed to be using my powers on people that I love. She's kind of learned her lesson on that one, but now she doesn't want to use her powers, so anyway, she goes to this police officer and she's trying to find things, trying to find Vanya, trying to figure out her boyfriend is trying to, like, you know, lie to them, blah, 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 blah. Who's her boyfriend? Leonard Harvey, or what was his name? Henry, or I forgot. He goes by Leonard, anyways. Then she's just like, I am doing a police role, and can I sit with you and go on this ride with you, talking to the police officer, and he's just like, oh, yeah, I love you, I know, you mean my wife love your romantic comedies, and, like, she, like, they, like, go to the hospital to go investigate some person who was in the hospital. I'm like, really? That was really cheesy and just like Allison, her and Diego are my least favorite characters. I think I have to say that. Her and Diego are my least favorite characters. Yeah, it's kind of stuck between who's my least favorite character. They kind of swap back and forth, Diego and Allison. I don't know. I'd like to see something better come out of them. But although they're not the ones that I'm most interested in. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Leave some comments. Let's chat about this show. I'm super excited about it. Is this show very popular? How big is this show getting? Like, is there a bunch of fans? Like, are they going to be at Comic-Con and all that cool stuff? But, I really liked it. Please subscribe to stay tuned for when I upload my many different videos. I do different videos here on this channel. I upload every Tuesday at 6 a.m. Why? Because I work nights. So if you're not a subscriber, hi, my name's Ileana. I work nights, so my schedule is flopped from different people. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.